today we're going to talk about absolute value. Yesterday, right, what did we talk about? We talked about integers, right? And we talked about opposites, right? And what was an opposite?
Negative.
And the opposite, right, has the same distance from 0.
Yeah.
So could an opposite be negative?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Absolute value is different, okay? It's going to look similar, but it's going to be a little different, all right? So what you need to understand is that the absolute value of an integer is the distance from 0 on a number line, okay? It's the distance from 0 on a number line. The difference between absolute value and opposites are that absolute value is always positive. Okay? Always positive. Now, is that true for opposites? No. Sometimes opposites can be negative. Okay? So, absolute value is always going to be positive. Okay? So I'm going to slide this up. And it then becomes the question, how do I write absolute value? It's nothing fancy, but I'm going to put these two bars, just straight lines, and then my number goes in between. Okay? And so I would say this as the absolute value of -3. Okay, that's how you say that. I'm going to put quotation marks around it because that's how you would say this symbol, right? It's way easier to write it than to say those words, than to write the words, right? Remember I told you mathematicians are kind of lazy? So I'm not going to write this out. I'm going to say the absolute value of -3 is. Well, what is the absolute value of -3? Well, do we know? Let's look at our number line. Here's -3, right? So how do we graph the point? We just put the dot there over -3. And go back to the top of your paper. What is the absolute value? It's the distance from 0. Well, how far is -3 from 0? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So what's the absolute value of -3?
3.
+3. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, it looks kind of like what? Kind of like opposites.
Yes.
But let's check it out down here on the bottom. Okay? So I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Okay? And we're going to look at these 3. Okay? Now, what does this say? Nope. It says the absolute value of -2 is. Okay? Well, let's find -2 on the number line. How far is -2 from 0? 2. So what is the absolute value of -2? 2. 2. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay? What does this say? The absolute value of 4 is... Nope. Nope. Where's 4 on the number line? Here it is. How far is 4 from 0?
4.
So what's the absolute value of 4?
4.
4. Go back up here.
Also, it's different.
What did we say?
Always positive.
It's always positive. Okay? We're not talking about opposites. We're talking about absolute value. Okay? Now, this last one is kind of tricky. Okay? It wants to know, let's pause, right? And we're going to look at just what's in here. How do we say this? Nope, we say the absolute value of -5 is, well, I'm going to come up here. Where's -5? How far is -5 from 0? 5, okay? But it wants the negative value of that, because there's an extra negative out here. So what's the answer going to be? -5. Okay, that one's tricky. Okay, so this one should be like a radar. Your head should be screaming, wait, I got to solve it, and then add that sign to it. Okay? So absolute value All it is counting the number of spaces from 0. Okay? And it can only ever be what? It can only be
Always positive.
positive. Okay? Questions? All right, awesome. Okay, everybody else who's watching this video, this is my second period class. They're going to say hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry I couldn't be with you this afternoon. Study hard. You do have homework. It is page 41, numbers 1 through 16, so don't forget to take a picture or write it down.
Yup.